Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 93 of the Everything Moto Racing podcast. At last, we've finally got a number that Cameron's back, and Lauren might know. Welcome back, Cameron, firstly.
Finally, we got it to work.
I know.
Hello. Yeah. Good to be back.
Yeah, he's not left, for those who have... Oh my God, my voice cracked. For those wondering, he's not left, he's not been sacked.
Are you really sad about that there? You thought about him leaving and you were like, oh gosh, getting a bit upset.
Like, yeah, I did a little cry to myself, you know.
No. To yourself, yes. No, okay, 93. I had to think long and hard about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who have we got?
Well, he's been getting a bit of stick on social media recently, hasn't he?
When's he not?
Well, true, but
yeah, he doesn't need to do anything to get stick on social media.
Yeah, he literally just
post a photo of him and his dog and he gets hate for it, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's one Mr. Mark Marquez, isn't it? Mark Marquez.
Indeed.
And that's it. I'm out after that. Sorry.
What about you, Lauren? Have you got another one?
No.
Okay, great. Well, it doesn't really count because he's actually using 94 in the Red Bull Rookies, but he does use 93 in the European Talent Cup and is the 2022 European Talent Cup. I'm talking about Mr. Italian Guido Pini. He uses it in the European Talent Cup. There aren't too many. I'm going to have missed like an absolute major one, like when we missed Leon Haslam the other week. There's Marco Gaggi. There's a Malaysian rider years ago that ran it as a wild card in Moto2. Can't remember for the life of me the name.
No,
Very sorry to the Malaysian fans for that one. But yeah, so we've got the Americas GP coming up, but I thought we better kind of talk about the main kind of thing that's going on today, which is that Toprak Razgatlıoğlu has once again tested the Yamaha M1.
I don't know how I feel really. I would love Toprak to come in and do bits on the Yam, but the Yam right now is crap.
And it really suits him.
And like for me anyway, Toprak's biggest thing is on the brakes.
Yeah,
and like that is, he's going onto carbon brakes now, and he's probably, I don't know. There's got to be people who are just as good on the brakes as him. To be honest, in the GP grid, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I say we'll see. Like I know what's going to happen here, but looks like he might get a shot, which should be interesting. So it's the last time someone from Superbikes went up. Not up, but not
across
up to MotoGP. Across to MotoGP.
I think most people would want to say across.
Yeah.
I believe it was 2015 when Eugene Laverty and Loris Baz stepped over.
Okay.
Was that? Hold on, bear with me. I'm just going to check if it was 2015 or 2014. I believe it was 2015. 2015. It was when Baz and Laverty stepped over. I do believe that is the last time. And the guy or the rider prior to that was Cal Crutchlow.
Right. And you have to say...
Or it was Ben Spies.
The crop of riders like coming up through Moto3 and Moto2 now are really sort of first in line rather than people coming across.
Yeah, it stops that from happening.
It does, yeah. And in all honesty, people like Acosta, etc., are like more of an exciting prospect.
Yes.
And obviously they've got these deals, like obviously Acosta's in with KTM, etc. Sure, I don't know, maybe Yamaha are desperate to try and get someone to fill the seat. Not that, they would have to be, but I don't know. You feel like they could, in theory, fill the seat quicker with someone from Moto2 than bringing someone over from Superbikes. But I don't know. I've gone on a tangent here, I suppose. I just had to say stuff. I'm back. Carry on. Someone else speak.
So Franco Morbidelli is an intriguing one along with Toprak testing, because Toprak has said that he is now open to a MotoGP switch, especially with maybe Bautista doing what he's doing on Ducati. It's kind of hard to beat the Ducati in World Superbike and in MotoGP, to be honest.
Yeah.
So maybe Toprak is looking for a change elsewhere, which is, perfectly viable, perfectly respectable, and I really would like to see him in MotoGP, but I prefer to see him on a Ducati Because I really genuinely think he would absolutely wipe the floor with a lot of people on the Ducati.
Interesting.
As many riders could. Like Alex Marquez has said that he's not actually riding the Ducati any harder or any differently to what he'd ride the Honda. And yet suddenly he's gone from being 15th to 2nd.
Yeah.
Or on the podium at least. You know, he's... Toprak, this again, would probably have to ride very differently on that M1 because, as we know, Toprak is very much a rider who likes to get out of shape. He likes to make it sideways. He likes to do the stoppies into corners with his legs swinging out wide. And although Quartararo can do that, and over the years, the Yamaha has gone from a smoother bike that likes to the rider to softly kind of apply the throttle and gently ride it around the circuit. Fabio Quartararo has now said that the Yamaha is a lot more...
It's a beast.
Aggressive. Yeah, you need to ride it harder. And so that could favour Toprak, but the issue now is Franco Morbidelli, because Franco Morbidelli's contract ends this year with Yamaha, but now he's finally showing some form.
Is it too late though? For Frankie?
Could be. Maybe.
Well, that's it. Is that a hot take? Maybe Toprak's actually talking about taking Fabio's seat.
Oh my God, yeah,
Oh
true,
my God,
actually.
that's a hot take.
Possibly.
I really don't see it though. I actually spoke about this the other day with some people that I don't actually see Fabio moving from Yamaha ever. I feel like he's established there now. It's like how everyone's talking about Mark leaving Honda these days. I just really don't see it. He's established Honda rider. Where would he go? I really don't see Fabio moving. I feel like he would want to stick with the bike and try and work the way up. So I do think it's Frankie on the chopping block.
Yeah, you're probably right. But then what if this new Yamaha that's come along now is back to its kind of older ways of needing to be ridden more in that sort of Lorenzo-esque, smooth, flowing sort of way, which, I mean, Franco's, you know, that's his style.
Can do,
and suddenly it's working again, possibly. In which case, Toprak's going to have a hard time because that's not how he rides. But, and what was the times today as well? He was like, what, 0.7 off of Cal or something?
Off?
Yeah, there weren't any official times. Released.
No, they're never official.
Yeah, Pedrosa actually was faster than Johan Mir's race. Pedrosa did like a 1:37.9 and Johan Mir did a 1:38.2 or something like that in the race last year as a lap record. A race record, which is...
and Pedrosa's racing this year, isn't he?
He's racing Jerez. Yeah.
Anyway. He's going to win it. He's my winner.
But the thing is as well, what was this talk about Jorge Martin signing a pre-contract with the Yamaha as well?
Yeah, we literally spent freaking an hour talking about Jorge Martin's prospects of going to Yamaha, and that's the noises that we've been hearing. Also, Alonso Lopez, Fermin Aldeguer,
Manu Gonzalez.
Exactly, all the sort of young up-and-coming Moto2 riders, and then you hear of this test coming about, and you sort of think, oh, whatever. And I don't know, the traction is gaining on Toprak, and like, all the
rapidly.
noise, within days, all of a sudden,
it's gone bang. He's getting the seat. Yeah.
How old is Toprak?
25. So he's got years to learn, and he's still got time.
I thought he'd lost his chance, though. Not lost his chance, but when he won the World Championship in World Superbikes in 2021, I thought he was going to make the switch. Then he said he wanted to win the World Superbike Championship and then go to MotoGP, do something that no one else has done before. So
Spies did it, but
okay, well,
Spies was the last guy to do it.
You know what I mean?
I get your point.
Yeah, and then go. I think because he wants to win the MotoGP Championship as well, is what I mean. And go on to do something that no one's done before.
That makes sense.
Sorry, Spies. But yeah, I thought he'd lost his chance in 2021, but now that this has gained so much, I don't know, media, whatever, I'm sort of convinced that he's got it now.
Well, this is a weird one because I was reading Motor Matters, David Emmett's site earlier, and he did a little article about silly season, which is mental because it's 2 rounds in and we're already talking about silly season. But that's it. It's earlier and earlier every year. You know, these guys have barely spun any laps and we're already talking about 2024. But he made some good points. We also made the same points on the last podcast of there is so much talent now in Moto2. There's about 7 or 8 riders I could go, they'll be in MotoGP next year. But then you look at the MotoGP grid and you're like, who is leaving? Who is going to be off that grid to make space for these riders? You know, you got your Fermin Aldegas, your Izan Guevaras, your Aaron Canet, your Pedro Costa. You know, you've got Alonso Lopez, Manuel Gonzalez, who's on a Yamaha contract with the goal of getting him into MotoGP with Yamaha. You got so many of these riders and they're all performing. And where's the space for them? There isn't. And so then you're bringing another rider in of Toprak into MotoGP, and it's more of a risk, I would say, more of a risk to put Toprak on the Yamaha M1 than it is to put Manuel Gonzalez, for example, on the M1, because Toprak comes with a reputation of being a world champion and a guy who can fight for wins, whereas Manuel Gonzalez can come in and be like, I'm a rookie, I'm still learning it. Toprak then has to learn different tracks. Toprak has to adapt to the MotoGP way of life instead of the World Superbike way of life, which is, I would say, a little bit easier. They've got less rounds, they do more races, but they've got 11 rounds. MotoGP's got 21 rounds a season.
Imagine Toprak in a sprint race, though, in MotoGP.
Oh my God, he'd snipe everyone.
Oh my God.
He would be so incredible.
That is juicy. That is juicy. Yeah. But it's intriguing because then, like we say, we've got so many younger riders. Like, where are they going to go? Because, yes, you could go, right, okay, these top riders could just go over to World Superbikes, but the space in World Superbikes is also very limited.
No, because you've got all the people who have been kicked out of MotoGP in the last couple of years, unfairly at that. A lot of them. So you've got so much up-and-coming talent now sort of finding their feet in World Superbikes who are going to, I think, make the step up to the top 3. Yeah. So there isn't going to be as many opportunities in World Superbikes now. You've obviously then all got the people in like World Supersport, etc., wanting to move up and make that step as well.
Balega, for example, wants to go to Super next year.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yamaha could do something by bringing in a satellite team again. I think is a massive way to get some more riders on the grid. Obviously, with Suzuki leaving as well, no one took that spot up again. So that would be a massive thing, I think, is Yamaha bringing back in their satellite team. Would help.
Well, there are talks still. Obviously, this Yamaha thing is going to continue going, and maybe the whole rumour is that VR46 will be VR46 Yamaha. But if VR46 are winning races with Ducati, why change something that's already working? For one, there are still talks of the Stefan Pera group. I can't remember what it's properly called, officially called, putting Husqvarnas on the grid as well. Obviously, just rebadged KTMs. So then you've got all 3. You've got the Husqvarnas, you've got Gas and the KTMs.
Interesting.
Taking over those Suzuki spots. So then there's also that case, because this all revolves around, or a lot of this revolves around Pedro Acosta. And what Pedro Acosta's going to do.
Yes, it does.
Like, because he's a weird case, Pedro Acosta, because he signed a 2+1 year deal with KTM to do 2 years in Moto2, with the +1 being a year 2024 in MotoGP. Brad Binder and Jack Miller are signed up for this and I believe next year. Brad Binder signed a long contract.
He did, I think it's the end of 2024. I want to say confidently, but
really?
Brad Binder
it was
contract.
long. I remember when it got announced. It was long.
End of 2024, right. So, but it was like a 3-year deal. And then, but Paul Espargaro and Augusto Fernandez are on 1-year deals, so there's a chance they could slot him in there.
Augusto's out. Like, you have to be real here. No matter what he does, I can see KTM doing their usual.
I can't. I genuinely, after the PR disaster of Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez, I cannot see KTM making that same mistake again. I can't see them bidding off Paul either. So then KTM...
You have to bid someone.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a tricky one because, again, David Emmett, I was reading, it's in his article as well, so I'm giving him credit for this because he made some good points. KTM could keep Costa in Moto2 again next year with the hope of bringing him up when either Brad or Jack or any of the riders, Augusto or Paul, for example, leave or take them in their place. But that would be a breach of Pedro Acosta's contract because his contract says MotoGP. They could also opt to break that contract, but then any manufacturer that wants to break that contract would have to pay KTM to break it. For example, if Yamaha was to try to poach Pedro Acosta, they would have to pay money to KTM to breach it unless Pedro Acosta, as manager, can work out a way to exit that contract without paying any money because KTM don't have the seats available. And then where Pedro goes, I think will then kind of open the grid up for the rest of the people and the rest of the riders, because we've spoken extensively about Pramac Ducati and Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin is doing well this year. He's at a podium, but he's also very much saying that he wants that Yamaha seat, which could annoy and anger people in Yamaha, and he could end up burning his bridges with Ducati if he was to continue speaking like that.
I could see that happening. I could see Jorge Martin in a very precarious situation come halfway through this season.
Especially if Toprak is hired. The issue with Toprak is that he's a Red Bull athlete, and we know that riders can change. Jorge Lorenzo was a Monster Energy athlete for a long time and switched to Red Bull. Enea Bastianini's recently switched from Monster to Red Bull. Johan Mir has changed from Monster to Red Bull as well. The other way around, sorry. Yeah, Red Bull to Monster. Yeah, Red Bull to Monster, and then it was Enea Bastianini, Red Bull to Monster as well.
Okay.
Oh, wait, and it's Mir, Monster to Red Bull. There's too many Red Bulls and Monsters. This is too weird. But Toprak's Red Bull contract is very much linked to Kenan Sofuoglu, who is his manager.
He's a special case, isn't he? The Toprak's Red Bull. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Kenan's manager, his manager Kenan, that's a conflict of interest there.
It is. He gets paid a lot of money.
Red Bull. Yeah, because Kenan's still a Red Bull athlete.
Yeah.
All their riders, Dennis Onshu, Chan Onshu, Batan Sofuoglu now, are all Red Bull athletes. So for Kenan, who is a Red Bull athlete himself, to go, yeah, you can go to Monster Energy, creates a massive conflict of interest within Kenan and his own personal finances, but also Toprak and his contracts, because I doubt Monster Energy will be able to pay as much as what Red Bull Turkey are paying him.
Probably not.
No, but for the sake of your dream of riding in MotoGP, really?
But is it Toprak's dream, though? Because Toprak's dream was to be a world superbike champion because his dad, with Yamaha, because his dad was a stuntman and rode Yamahas, and that was his goal and that was his dream. And he's achieved that.
And I don't know if I'd want to go against...
Things get bigger.
Well, true. I don't know if I'd want to go against Kenan's wishes either. To be honest.
But what if he parts ways with Kenan Sofuoglu then? Because that would be the breakup
huge.
Of all breakups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be monumental, given that Kenan steered his career the way it has gone now. Toprak could stand on his own 2 feet now, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone would want him, is the thing. He's such a prospect to any team that and now that he's obviously a world champion as well, like, he could basically go anywhere he wanted to go if he was able to work it out.
And, we're talking all this about Jorge Martin as well. What about the other side of the Pramac garage?
Johan Zarco.
Where's he going? What's he doing?
I don't see them getting rid of him until he's ready to go.
I can't see them getting rid of it, yeah.
You reckon?
I think he's just chill. I think it's just he's got a podium the other day,
I think they'll just keep him on just to sing with his guitar in the garage and stuff. Like, I don't see him ever leaving Pramac. Like, he will just continue to be there.
Just there for
a happiness manager or something.
The only thing I think with Zarco is if Digia can't perform, struggles, and then they put Zarco in Grassini.
Yeah.
And then that opens up. But then I can see Pramac swooping up Tony Arbolino because they're an Italian team and they want the Italian prospect
Tony
on the bike.
Arbolino is going to Ducati. I just don't know which Ducati bike it'll be. Yeah.
It's a tricky one because Bezecchi now wants a factory Ducati seat
as well. That's not happening. Absolutely not.
You're like, what the hell? There's only 2 seats now. It's just, it's musical chairs. There's always a MotoGP. It's been 2 rounds and it's chaos already. I don't. There's little rumours I heard of Mark Marquez not being too happy at Honda still.
You're joking.
And then some absolute, I'm going to use my words carefully. I saw some talk of him doing a switch with Pedro Costa Honda KTM, which
absolutely
I haven't
not.
seen anywhere else on the internet apart from on one site, so I don't really trust that at all.
Someone sent that
I
to
can't
me,
see that happening.
so that's why I sent it on to you guys, because I was like, wait, what's going on here? I haven't heard anything about it. But
I haven't heard anything about it.
I really wouldn't see that happening. I have talked a lot about that. I think that Marc Marquez is possibly going to retire and Pedro Acosta takes the seat. We're looking at, okay, yeah, he's not fit again after that crash in Portimao. We can't really expect too much from him, but if he's taken now a bit longer to recover from injuries, etc., I mean, a couple of weeks, I can't really blame him. It hasn't been very long, so these people aren't superhuman, or they are to a certain extent. But I do sort of see it, the fact that I think that Repsol Honda are going to want to poach Pedro Acosta.
Yeah.
But it would be after Marquez going.
Yeah, Marquez will be allowed to do a Rossi and just sort of decide when he goes, basically.
Do what he wants, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know, Marquez is 30 now?
He's not old. He's not old.
He's not old, but
things.
He's old for a MotoGP grid now.
Yeah, he's like one of the oldest riders on the grid now. It's crazy.
And we were talking earlier about how it's going to be the field's going to be so stacked soon that there's going to be, how are you going to decide who goes on seats? And it's almost going to get to the point where it's literally whoever's the youngest, whoever has the most potential years in them to grow onto that bike. Yeah. If someone's mid to late 20s, it's suddenly going to be like, oh, well, we'll replace you with the 20-year-old. Get 5 more years out of them.
But that's
it's why riders.
Yeah,
it goes against riders like Jake Dixon, who put it like maybe 5-10 years ago. Jake Dixon would have had a MotoGP seat already by now.
Yeah.
But Jake Dixon's 28, I believe, off the top of my head.
No, he's like 20.
Jake Dixon,
27.
He's 27. Yeah, he's 27. So already he's past the boat. Unless something amazing comes back in, because yes, BT Sport have invested a lot into MotoGP and want a British rider on that grid. No team, I say this, right, and you got to take this with a pinch of salt, no team is going to want to hire a 27-year-old unless they can perform incredibly well. But I will say Johan Zarco was about 28 when he was a MotoGP rookie, and he has exceeded all expectations on a MotoGP bike, and there's no reason why Jake Dixon couldn't do the same. But then when you've got Jake Dixon against Fermin Aldeguer, Manuel Gonzalez, Aaron Canet, Pedro Costa, you're like, obviously you're going to go for a younger rider who can give you 10 years of their career, whereas Jake Dixon maybe has 5 years left.
You need those young riders to start performing. Fermin Aldeguer hasn't made that step up to the front yet. I do think he will get there, whereas Jake is starting to make that big step. I see him standing on the top spot this year, so you have to take that into consideration. If Jake was to get it fully all together within this next season and a half, he could definitely make the step into MotoGP if he can sort of bridge it across and get the race wins and battle for the championship. But if Fermin Aldeguer gets there first, or the younger riders get there first, they're going to get that seat ahead of Jake Dixon. Well, I think he knows that himself, though. How
long has Jake been in Moto2 now? How many years has he been in there? 4 years.
I think it was 2019 he made his first season.
Okay, so let's say it takes him 4 years to get his first win in that class. Our MotoGP team's going to be like, okay, let's say it takes 4 years to get us a win. They're not going to...
I don't know. With British riders, though, I don't think British riders are at the same standard coming into the classes as what the young Spanish and Italian riders are. You see it with American riders as well. It's crazy because these Spanish kids and Italian kids are riding these circuits since they're no age, and then you've got Americans and English riders coming in, or British riders even coming in, and they're not as used to these circuits. They need some extra time, and it takes them a couple more years to get to it. But then you've got the likes of Sam Lowes, for example, where the opportunity just
appeared. Yeah,
it never came, or it never came to fruition.
Yeah, well, Sam, he had that year in the Aprilia and just got absolutely spat up, chewed up and spat out. And it's why it's great that we have the junior talent team with Eddie O'Shea in it, for example, at the moment, who's doing really well apart from his injuries. If you are listening, Eddie, get well soon because he's got to have another operation.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, massive shame. But then we see riders like Scott Ogden who have gone through the system. He's gone through the British Fab racing, then he's gone through the British Talent Cup, then he went to the British Talent Team, then Dorna put him in Aspar and he won a race, and then he finally got the Moto3 World Championship chance with a British team, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll say it, Scott wouldn't have had a seat if it wasn't for Michael Laverty's squad coming in, which is a massive shame. But now that he's got that seat, he has the chance to prove himself, and he was battling for a podium.
Yeah, he's made that step this year.
Yeah. But he has followed the trajectory. Yes, okay, he has still come up through the Fab racing thing and through the British scene. He has then joined and met with the Spanish riders and then been able to battle with them. It's why riders like Casey O'Gorman and Johnny Garnis are now racing in the European Talent Cup.
They've realised
because they are now,
yeah.
They're bridging that gap where instead of just stepping into the World Championship from British circuits against Daniel Holgado, who's raced in the Spanish circuits their whole lives, and then being way apart, they're now bridging that gap and actually putting the riders against the riders that they may race against in the future in the World Championship, and giving them a head start by doing it earlier than 16 years old. They're doing it when they're like 13 or 14.
It's much better now, though. Like, I think Scott Ogden is the perfect example of it, and I hope now with these younger riders in the Red Bull rookies, etc., like, this will help them sort of reach their peak earlier in their careers. I think British riders should have reached their peak a lot later in their careers, just because they're racing on the the British tracks, etc., and you can't gain that much experience riding around all the British circuits when we don't go to any of them apart from Silverstone. So.
Yeah, the only way that you'll get faster as a rider is to race against the other riders and bridge that gap. Yeah. It's like Lorenzo Fellon, when he joined the Moto3 World Championship, he wasn't ready. He'd only done 1 year in the Junior GP series. He wasn't ready. He was way back, like a massive back marker. But slowly but surely, he's getting there. He's injured at the moment, so we can't really judge his progress on the KTM. But he went from scoring 0 points to then scoring points. And then this year, hopefully with the KTM, he'll start to, bridge that gap and get some top 10s and things like that. But the only way these riders are going to learn and adapt is by racing against these Spanish riders. It's like last year in the junior stock 600 class in BSB, Max Cook was the champion. And he was doing it by riding completely different to all the other riders. He was riding like he did in the Junior GP. And it showed. And his experience and skills there excelled. And he was able to win the championship. And now he's a BSB rider. Rory Skinner, who's now back in Moto2, thankfully, again, excelled in BSB because he knew how to race against the Spanish riders and used that to his advantage on British tracks against British riders who'd never ridden that, and he had that extra level. Yeah, and it gives you that extra level. And now Rory's back in the World Championship, and he already knows his tracks. He already knows how to race his riders. It's just about adapting to the Moto2 and getting further up the grid, and that will just take time. And thankfully, I'm very glad Rory got given that shot, because he is one of the biggest and brightest talents that Britain has had to offer since Danny Kent, I would say.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
And so I'm just glad to see these British riders getting this shot. And we go back full circle back to Jake Dixon. If Jake Dixon, he was what when he
he just needs the right people behind him and the right people looking out for him. And he's got a good team obviously in the Aspar team. He's got good friends and people around him in the paddock. I think if an opportunity was to arise, I think Jake has the right people around him now, and he knows what he needs to do, and he's making those steps to build the bridge to get to MotoGP. I really could see it for Jake. I really, really could. He's been working hard towards it, and you can see it.
Yeah, like his age plays against him, absolutely, but I think there's still a chance. There's definitely still a chance. If Gas, for whatever reason, and God forbid Paul Espargaro can't come back to race for whatever reason, there's easily a spot there for Jake Dixon, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a taste. They let him ride the bike, the Yamaha, obviously.
And he didn't do badly.
No, he didn't.
He did exceptionally well.
I mean, he was thrown in at the deep end. All the riders who were asked to move up and have a go on that Yamaha, like we're all thrown in at the deep end, and we couldn't expect any of them to just jump in and all of a sudden perform well. But Jake, I think, did very, very well, and hopefully the opportunity doesn't pass him.
He's good pals with Fabio as well.
That helps.
Yeah, which definitely helps.
That gets conversations going with people, you know.
Yeah.
All it takes is to drop a name or to start a conversation with someone that he needs to sort of speak to. It opens a lot of doors, I think. Without taking advantage, but like, it's your friend, he's going to want to help you out. I think it...
Oh, well, I mean, the paddock's rife with nepotism. It's just the way it works. I mean,
how many escalators are there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, it's an intriguing one with all these moves. But moving on from silly season to the returning riders, it's been confirmed today Marc Marquez will not race in Austin, which is a shame because it was Honda's... I'd say it's Honda's best chance at a win this year, but he may have had to do a double long lap penalty, but we still don't know. So
it's a real shame, actually, because
it is a shame because this is he hasn't done a full season since 2019.
It would have been the best place for him to do it as well. Like, he still could have come out with a decent race result if still having to do a double long lap penalty. Whereas until you get to Sachsenring, maybe. He's not going to be... I think he's going to throw in surprises, obviously, like he did in the first race, but I think he's going to rein himself back a lot more. I don't think he can keep doing this.
Yeah. It seems like he almost has no choice on that Honda, though. No matter what he does, it spits him off in some way.
Yeah.
And he gets injured, or, he gets it wrong slightly, like in Portimao, and then bowling balls the local hero and everything. But
and then he has to flee the country.
Since 2019, since 2020, he must have been looking forward to Austin every year, thinking this is the track where even if I'm not at 100%, I've still got half a second on everyone.
Yeah.
And it just, the last couple, what happened last year?
He got one. He's definitely won at one.
He
got one. That's it. Yeah, he got that one. He's like, this is it. This is my race again. What was it, 2021?
2021, I think he won it,
yeah.
Well, last year he bogged down, didn't he?
Still finished sixth.
Yeah, and he did win in 2021, and he had the donut with Jet Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aye, that's it. So this must be the one where he thinks, it doesn't, this is my track. Doesn't matter what I'm riding, I'm still faster than everyone. And something always happens. Something seems to be getting in the way every time.
You must be getting so frustrated with it. Honestly, if I was Marquez, 4 seasons now where you've not done a full season, I'd be like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
He has to be thinking that, though.
Yeah.
After watching that documentary. Well, that's the thing. After watching that and getting a bit of an insight, and I know obviously he created it, so it's very what he wanted to put out into the world, his spin on it, basically. But knowing that he was so close to retirement, I think he has to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
How much longer can you keep putting yourself through that?
He must have just cursed himself so hard at Portimao as well.
But you fucking...
It's a real shame. And do you know what? Do you know what really pisses me off as well? It's just all of this... looping back to what I said at the start, all this vitriol that he gets. And people, when it was announced, what was it, yesterday or the day before, that he was going to miss Kota?
Today it was.
Was it today? Yeah. See all the laugh reacts that people put on these posts. This guy is injured for your entertainment and you're laughing about it. And it is just horrendous. I hate that so much. And I really
It's like a not cool, hooligan style thing now.
It is, yeah. That's mob mentality, and just.
It's the whole cancel culture thing, though, as well. People want to cancel Marc Marquez. Can't do it, but they're trying to. I don't understand what people are trying to do by completely slagging him off on the internet.
Yeah, and that's it. How boring would the sport be if you didn't have these polarizing characters in there as well? God, people just lack perspective and respect, and it annoys me. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it annoys me too, don't worry.
It annoys everyone. I just think, put yourself in his shoes. You injure yourself that many times and see how quickly you bounce back from it. You couldn't. I know I couldn't. So I don't understand why people are so quick to judge for the fact that he's not riding this race weekend. You break your fingers and just see how quickly you can jump back on a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee if I was on that Honda at Portimao a couple of weeks ago, I would have had more injuries than Marc Marquez, that's for sure.
Also, in the last 20 minutes, Ducati have officially confirmed that Enea Bastianini will not race this weekend. After Pirro made a post and then deleted it on Instagram saying Enea is back. Yeah.
That's made my day so much worse. I wish you hadn't told me that.
Yeah, Enea will not race because I was thinking because he went out today at also typing a caption at the same time. Bastianini will not race. He went
AI
out
to do
at
this for
Misano.
you.
I wish. He went out at Misano today on a Barney prepared Ducati with Pirro and did 10 laps. But it wasn't ready, unfortunately. So that's 6 races now that Enea Bastianini will have missed, obviously including sprint races. I posted a thing asking what people thought about his championship, got a bit of hate for it. 6 races down now. What's that? 36 times 3. So he's now 111 maximum points down already. After this weekend, say Bezzecchi wins again, he could be looking at a 70-point deficit, and he's not even finished a race yet.
Sheesh.
Like, unless he can pull a Pecco off, this is going to be very, very hard to recover.
This is so unfair. This is so
It's
unfair.
not even his fault. It wasn't even his fault either.
This is what I worried about coming into the start of the season with sprint races, that it would ruin someone's season by a silly mistake. Like,
especially Enea Bastianini, who's a title contender.
Exactly. Like, I thought he was going to run away with it. Especially because Pecco made that mistake last week, and now you've got Marco Bezzecchi in the mix. Like, Bezzecchi has sort of just taken over what I thought Enea was going to do. So at least someone's taken it to Pecco, but I'm really, really annoyed that Enea Bastianini isn't getting a chance to show us what he can do on that Ducati. Yeah.
Because he won at Kota last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. It's just, Enea Bastianini was given he has basically a year and a half to prove what he can do in MotoGP and prove to Ducati that he can battle for a championship on their bike. Because if he can't, there will be a multitude of riders, for example, Jorge Martin, Tony Arbolino, all sat there ready and waiting to take that factory seat. Marco Bezzecchi as well. Yeah. And unfortunately for Enea Bastianini, I know it's only been 2 races, 3 now of him on that Ducati.
That's a lot.
If he's not, it is. And it's not his fault. And I feel horrendous for him because, we've seen what he can do. And I really hope Ducati don't have a short memory and things like that. And they will have a chance to prove to not only Ducati, but himself that he is still capable of winning races. And I fully think when he's back, he will go and win races and he will battle for the championship. I really hope he can do it. But I really hope these injuries also don't plague him enough that it's eating into his chances of proving to Ducati why they should give him another contract for 2025 and 2026.
Yeah, because it's not typical factory Ducati form to give you much grace, really, is
no. Like Jack Miller got 2 years and that was it. You're out because another rider was performing. If Bezzecchi's looking like he could win a championship with a VR46 squad, it'd be embarrassing for Ducati to have their rider in a satellite team beat the factory boys to a championship as well. So they'll want to do everything they can to then get them on a red bike.
To be fair, they do the same to Pecco though. Like there is a chance that both of them could go if Enea can't sort of shake off this injury and get back and sort of prove what he can do. And if Pecco, has more crashes and doesn't really live up to expectations, maybe doesn't win the championship, they'll be as quick to throw Pecco out as well.
Yeah, and I know, fully appreciate and respect that it's been 3 races and we are way talking into the future. I fully get and appreciate that. Don't worry, I'm sure some people are probably moaning and groaning, but it's very typical form of Ducati to sack a rider off.
Yeah.
And so I hope for both Enea and Ducati's case that he can come back and actually show everybody what he's got, because we know how flipping fast he is.
Well, that's
another
the thing.
rider. Sorry, Karen.
No, so I was just saying, like, yeah, you're right enough. Like, that was Ducati's form for the past, I don't know, decade. And when you compare the sort of crop of talent you had coming up in the last 10 years compared to what we're seeing come up now, they're gonna. I can't see them sort of holding on to someone for sentimental reasons. Put it that way.
Yeah,
no,
that's it.
Because they got rid of Dovi. And that was
exactly.
the last sort of sentimental rider I think that they had in their team. So
yep,
that's it. Dovi's out, Petrucci out. You know, and Iannone was out for Lorenzo. They got rid of Lorenzo. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've done in your career.
Got the championship now, which might change things. He won that championship for them after so many years, but
that'll get him a +1 year, maybe.
Yeah, if he's lucky.
Yeah,
on a satellite bike. Yeah, don't know.
Intriguing. Yeah. Another rider. We haven't heard anything about Yarmir yet, so can't comment on that.
I doubt he'll be.
I do as well.
I
and
don't see it.
Then we've got Oliveira, who is flying to Kota and will undergo medical on Thursday to see if he can race and is eligible to race. And if he passes, he will race.
I don't think they would have flown him out if he's going to be unfit. But I don't see him.
Why would they waste?
I don't see him being 100% is the issue. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's sort of just taking it easy at the back.
Yeah, like he needs to just gain experience for Aprilia, because Aprilia need lap times. They are struggling slightly at the moment, it seems. Hoping it wasn't just a single year amazingness, and now they've kind of like lost the shine that they had. I mean, Vinales is obviously doing Vinales stuff, but as we know, he's an exceptional rider. So I'm not too worried about Aprilia, but they need as much data as they can, and Miguel Oliveira will absolutely help push them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Yes, right. Yeah. Two more things, then we'll go on predictions. It's been announced, actually, we'll go on to Bezzecchi.
Oh.
So, Bezzecchi is currently leading the MotoGP World Championship, as we know. It's been 2 races. It's very early. Can he continue like this? He has had a podium, I believe, in every race, barring a DNF in the...
He's 3 for 4. 3
3 or 4, yeah. Was it a DNF, or was he just like fifth?
DNF, no, he crashed.
That's right, yeah. So he has had a podium. Oh, no, yeah, that's right, yeah, sorry. Yes, he's had a podium in every race he's finished. Sorry, I was getting it up in it. There's like a gap. I was like, what the frick does that mean? So he's had a podium in every race he's finished. 3 or 4, like you said. Can he continue this form?
Saw it coming end of last year. I was like, once he's on the GP22. Is he on GP22 or 23?
Yeah, 22.
22.
Yeah, once he's on the sorted bike, I think he can. I think he can probably win the championship. I think in my predictions, I went for the other side of the VR46 garage, but I think that's only because I was being a contrarian at the time. In my heart, I wanted Bez, but obviously I would say that now.
No, he's doing well, yeah.
I think he can. And I think once we get to Europe, he's only going to get better. But then probably so is everyone else.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Europe will make things exciting. The first couple races of the year, I think, are always not a write-off, but the surprise winners can pop up there. I don't think Bezzecchi is a surprise winner, but I don't know. The flyaway races always throw up a couple surprises, and then obviously you've got your main European leg, and then you've got all your flyaways again. So I think this next sort of between Jerez and San Marino, then he's got a lot of time to sort of rack up a lot of points. And
he's going to do it. He's going to do very well, I think.
Yeah.
Barring injury, I think he's going to...
Which the sprint races could throw a complete and utter spanner in the works is the only thing that I'm worrying about. Obviously, now that we've seen with Enea Bastianini what can happen. But also, we're 2 sprint races in, so I don't want to say that sprint races are going to cause chaos for the rest of the year, because I think people are going to start chilling out a little bit more in sprint races. I don't think we can
figure it out a bit
continue.
more.
It's wishful thinking, but in the same way,
100%. I
like
think
the
some
amount of
people-
injuries.
Some people are going to stay crazy, but some people I think are going to choose their battles, and racing on a Saturday is not going to be for everyone, I don't think.
No, you just got to go in, take the points and leave, because you don't want to, as we've seen with Enea Bastianini, you do not want to go in and get injured by putting in a risky move for the sake of 11 points for fifth, when you can go out in the full race and get, well, no, it's not fifth, it's 5 points, sorry, it's 11 in the full race.
Yeah.
So like ninth is 1 point. Like, yes, of course, in MotoGP every point counts and championships have been won by a single point, but you can also make a move and gain 5 points and go down in the process and break your leg, or you can not make that move, bank a few less points, but continue racing the next day and the next weekend and things like that.
Consistency is key.
Yep.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
And Pecco having that crash last week is massive. Like, Bez crashed in a sprint race, lost a couple of points. Pecco Bagnaia crashes in a main race, loses 20 points. So that's what I mean. You've got to pick your battles, and I think Bez will be smart about it, and it'll be interesting now to see some pressure put on him. I know it's very early, only 2 races in, but to be leading a championship is pressure. So we'll see how he goes.
Absolutely.
He wasn't Moto2 champ, was he?
No.
He came fourth, and he was like third and a fourth, I believe.
Right.
Just triple
They
check
all
what
were
he's doing
quite tight in that championship, and
That's
Luca
it. Fourth
Marini
and then
got
third in
injured.
2021.
Sam Lowe's got injured. Bez, I think, had a
in the
few
last
crashes.
race.
Yeah.
In the last race, it was the very last race of the season. It was him. All 4 of them could have won the championship.
Wow.
Luca got hurt though. I remember in the last couple of races of the season, which sort of took him out of it. Sam Lowe's wasn't great in the last couple of races.
Yeah, because he broke his hand at Valencia. He'd have won the championship. It wasn't for that.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Ifs and buts.
Like, Bastianini was good, but I think if injury hadn't plagued that season, I don't think Bastianini would have won that season.
Sam would have had it. No. That was Sam's all over, but it went to Enea. You got to finish first.
Consistency, exactly. You're the one that stays upright and doesn't get injured. You're going to win.
That's it. That is it. But yeah, Enea, in 2021. So in 2020, Bez was 4th overall, but very close within it. And in 2021, he was 3rd in the championship. He missed. So it was 205 points for Enea in 2020, then 196 for Marini and Lowe's, and then Bez of 184. Very close. And then, when it was Raul and Remy in first and second, it was Bez in third. He was way off, like 97 points back on Gardner, but
wow.
But
who's laughing now?
Exactly. Finally, before we go into our predictions, it was announced this week that Dorna have hired former NBA executive Dan Rosamundo to the chief commercial officer to replace Manuel Arroyo. This is good news, I think. He'll be in charge of negotiating, managing, growing the commercial side of the business, which includes broadcasting rights, sponsorship, and other commercial tie-ins. Could we finally see a MotoGP an F1 style Liberty Media injection?
Could be cool.
I've seen some
For
things
MotoGP.
in the last week about the possibility of hosting both races on one weekend.
Yes.
But then,
Madrid.
well, you throw away all of your feeder series, obviously. You can't, there's not enough track time to have F2, F3.
To have F2, F3, and Moto3.
F1 Academy is going to, they're having that as well. There's absolutely no way. So it would just simply be like a one-off. What would you call that? Like an expedition? No, like...
It'd be like a... Oh, what's the word? It begins with an E. I think it's like a...
Experience? That's not the word I'm looking for.
No, I know exactly
like
what
a
you're thinking
showcase,
of.
like a showcase race sort of
Yeah,
thing. Like it wouldn't be real.
Yeah, an exhibition would be right.
Exhibition.
Yeah. Like it wouldn't be for the championship or anything like that, but just having both ride around a circuit on a weekend, yes. But there's been a lot of talk about that in the last week. I've seen a lot of tweets about that. I just
in Madrid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, but I think making a way that making F1 and MotoGP easier to watch for people and maybe cheaper to watch for people, putting the two together, 110% definitely
if
should
they can
be done.
get rid of this fucking video pass.
Oh,
Honestly, the concept makes me sick. I hate it. It's inaccessible. It's far too expensive. It's clunky. Have you ever tried just try to sign into like the free videos and stuff? It's a nightmare.
Oh my
it's not
God, it's a
free.
pain in the
If you
arse.
value your time, that is not a
money.
free video. It is horrible. Video Pass needs to go. They just need to streamline the whole thing. I don't know, stick it on Prime or whatever. I'm sure someone is willing to pay them enough money to make it more accessible for the average person to just include it with some subscription that they already pay for, rather than a separate 30 quid. Is it £30 a month now ish?
Yeah,
or like 30 euros a month or something.
What?
It's ridiculous money.
It's obscene. It's 180 quid a year or something. It's nuts.
Like for one thing. Do you know what I mean?
One thing.
Like, what?
Like you can watch old races and stuff on it, great, but like
you can
if
watch
you're
the
just
old races on BT Sport.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like they need to do something because it is MotoGP is so inaccessible. That's the issue. Like I will say that TikTok and all has grown this last year. It's been a lot better. The social media has improved, but they're missing that spark, and it seems like MotoGP do so many things to try and push people away more than bring people in. And the fact that journalists and stuff have to pay $5,000 each for a season-long paddock pass or $5,000 a round, whereas in F1 you can just go and get accredited and not pay anything to get in there. Again, like why are you going to spend 500 quid on a pass for a round? Like no one's going to do that.
F1 is so accessible for their fans in terms of like actually consuming it, but to go to F1, too expensive. That's what I fear if they do try to put the two together, that the prices would just be skyrocketed. Like I don't pay for Sky Sports, I refuse, but I can still access F1. Whereas if I didn't pay for BT Sport, it would be very, very hard to access any MotoGP. And that's the difference. I don't know, F1 is just so easy to switch on and to find something. Channel 4 shows the races later on in the day. I know it's not live, but you can still watch full F1 races just on your normal TV.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think like I pay for a little. It's like the I think it's a timing pass, whatever. It's like £3 a month or something. And you can watch like with F1. This is like I think I pay for it because you've got F1 TV.
Yep.
Which you can watch Chasing the Dream, whatever that fucking shit is. So that's what the hell. So right, for 20 quid a year, you can watch F1 live timing data and delayed race replays for £2.29 a month.
I mean, people
can watch
people
team
are like,
radio.
all right, yeah, like that's fine. Yeah, $2.29 a month. What's that? Like for a lot of people, that's fine. That's all right.
Yeah, it's like 20 quid a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I pay it. I don't even notice it going in my bank. I'm on the current. Let's have a look what I can get because I've literally got it.
All right, money bags. Did you even notice it going out my bank?
This is quite working everything out for him. That's why.
Yeah, that's it. But like, so I can watch F1 documentaries and stream official F1 official archives. And get live timing, including clips of team radio, tyre usage history, real-time telemetry, live driver maps for £2 a month.
See, that's so worth it. That's like proper value. If you're into F1, that is mad value.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, like you're not watching the racing, of course, but with a Now TV subscription that's like £20 a month, maybe max, not only can you watch all these movies and these TV shows and all that, you can also watch Sky TV and watch F1 on it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's so accessible. Like, you can't... I don't think there's a thing where you can... Yes, of course, you could buy BT Sport, and then it means you can watch MotoGP on it, but you can't watch, like, blockbuster AAA movies and all that.
No, exactly. Yeah, BT Sport is just that. It's sport. It's what you get.
But it's just sport.
Sure, is it not changing as well?
They've changed it. They've merged it with Eurosport and Discovery now, so... Yeah. like as a British person, we can watch. If I've got my BT Sport subscription, I can now watch Moto America, BSB, the Endurance, and all that for free.
I know, but is it not changing its name?
Oh,
I think it has. Yeah.
Oh, has
Let's have a
it?
look.
Because I know halfway through the season, apparently, BT Sport,
there's a
the commentators are all
name.
going to be wearing different
TNT Sports.
shirts. Yeah, that's what it
TNT
was.
Sports.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know if that'll help.
And by BT Group and Warner Bros. So maybe then you can watch movies. Hey.
I don't know, but BT Sport have not done any favours for themselves at the start of this season, considering they didn't show like, what did they not do? I wasn't in, I didn't see it.
They hadn't. So the first, like, they've now changed it after everyone kicked off on the Friday, and then some of the sessions until 10 a.m. on the Saturday. They just used the Dorna feed. They didn't even use like Gavin Emmett or anything.
No,
they just used
no
the
commentary, nothing. Just silent.
It was just.
I saw people.
Yeah, it was just the no. They just used like it was Jack and like Simon Crayfire and all that doing the comms instead.
Oh really? Because I heard people couldn't hear anything.
Oh, I don't know about that. I watched Friday, but I didn't watch Saturday.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch any of it. But by Sunday, obviously they had the full team up and running. So
yeah,
I do like hearing Simon Crayfire though.
The way he talks is excellent.
Yeah,
like
he's very smooth.
The way
and nice.
Yeah. Well, just whilst we are talking, right, I've just gone onto my little like F1 TV thing, right? There's obviously £2 a month. If you want to watch these documentaries on MotoGP, you have to have the video pass, which is 180 quid a year. I can watch Beyond All Limits, whatever that is, Sergio Perez's Chasing the Dream, All Access. I can watch Greatest Races, Inside Tracks, Legends of F1, all this stuff for £2 a month. Like Jenson Button, Alain Prost. I can watch full races.
Take note, Dorna, and new
£2
media officer person.
Yeah, think how big the NBA has gotten in the last couple of years, or in the last however many years. I'm not a fan of the NBA, but like I see a lot more about it now than I would have even just a couple of years ago. So that already for me is an exciting prospect for someone who doesn't even follow NBA. Like I see a lot more of it. If we can do the same with MotoGP, it can only be a good thing. Great.
I'd hope so. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, as we go for that rant, let's do our predictions because it's nearly 11 p.m. We're all getting a bit tired.
Yeah,
because it's late. Sorry about that. My fault.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 100% your fault.
Yeah, it's fine. I can take it. So let's do our predictions for America. I'm not going to read out the point scoring system because I think it's just confuse everyone again. But yes, Moto 3 we'll start with pole position. I've gone for Sasaki. Cameron, please.
Yeah, I think I go with Sasaki every week, but I'll do it again because I love him. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, why not? And Lauren, please.
Shami Masia.
Not a bad shout actually. Yeah. Now this is where it gets tricky. Andrea Migno is riding. So is David Almanza.
That's what I needed to know because I knew Almanza was going to be here, but I didn't know about Migno. So that changes things.
Munoz has never raced this track as well.
Doesn't matter.
Just a heads up. That is true.
Literally doesn't matter.
Literally doesn't matter at all. Migno is 6th in the championship. Jeez. Mental. Hey, third place. I'll go with Cameron first, please, because I can't think.
I'm like scared to name someone because I feel like people are all injured. To be honest, third, I'm gonna go with. It's really hard to tell. It's really hard to think. Let's go with Munoz.
Okay. So third place, Lauren, please.
I'm gonna go with Danny Holgado.
Danny Holgado. Okay, nice choice. I'm going with Moreira.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yes. Lauren, second place, please.
Oh gosh. I don't know. Dennis Onchu.
Nice. Okay, good shout. On shoe. And Cameron, please.
Ogden.
Oh, someone had to do it. Someone had to do it.
I was tempted, but no, I didn't do it.
I think he'll be up there, but I don't want to throw a podium his way too early.
Come on.
Good shout. I've gone with Suzuki second.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to notice a trend with my winners today, this time. So, my winner is Dennis on shoe.
Oh, you're going
Cameron,
for it?
please.
I know exactly what you're going to do.
My winner, I'll have Sasaki, please.
Oh, nice.
Pole winner.
Lauren, please.
I'll stick with Messia.
Messia, okay, good chance. Right, Moto2 pole position. I'm going Pedro Costa.
I don't trust him after last week. Not going to lie.
True. Cameron, please.
Pole. Is it boring to... No. Salach, why not?
Yeah, you know what? I'll rate it. I like that. And Lauren, please.
Jake Dixon.
Oh,
He did well last year, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he got on the podium last year.
I think so, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Third place podium. Cameron, please.
Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Nice.
Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manu is, yeah.
I just don't know. So many people are injured. I'm like, could be now. I don't know.
Like, is it?
Oh, yeah, he's on Guevara's back.
Yeah, he is. Ethan Guevara is back.
Oh.
I don't think that changes
Yeah.
things, but it'll be
No, it
interesting
doesn't.
to see him actually riding a Moto 2.
And will he be at full fitness? Because he turned up at that test and was not fit at all. So we shall see.
I'd be worried if I was him, considering how well Sergio Garcia performed.
Yeah,
last
considering
week.
how unfit he was at the testing. He's then been injured. He was way back on times on the Moto 2 in general anyway. It's going to be scary to see.
I think it
we
is
shall
just
see.
injury, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until he
Yeah.
hopefully proves me.
does this. Yeah. So who are we going for, Lauren, please, and third?
I think it'll be... Oh, God. I really don't know. I should think about this. I think it'll be Aaron Canet.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I've gone with Costa because it's the legend, the GOAT. Second, I've gone with Arbolino because although he did win there last year.
I know what you're doing again. I got confused there for a second. No, I know what you're doing. Okay, yeah.
Cameron, second, please.
Between two, I'm thinking. I think I might go with. No, let's go Arbolino.
Oh, you were going to say Lopez?
I was. Man.
Oh,
curveball.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And Lauren, please, for second.
I want to say someone, but I do want to change it up a bit and not just pick the same people every week. Oh, do you know what? I'll put Dixon in second.
Nice.
See if he makes that step this week.
Was there not a second he got last year? Or was it third? No.
He's only had thirds.
Has he?
Okay, I'm going to stay with you, Lauren, for the winner, please.
Got to back my boy, Tony Arbolino.
Arbolino. Nice. Okay. And Cameron, please.
Oh, the GOAT Acosta, please.
Acosta.
I don't trust him.
Okay.
I don't trust him anymore.
I don't trust Bednaya either for the same reason. And I've gone with Aaron Canet.
Of course you have.
Oh, that'd be good.
I wonder who I'm picking for the MotoGP win.
I wonder.
Maybe a backflipping Frenchman, maybe.
We spoke about this last week and then you posted about it and I was like,
Yeah.
mate, I literally said that.
I know. Stolen it. MotoGP pole position. We can't put Marc Marquez. I'm going to put Alex Marquez on it again because Alex Marquez knows how to ride a motorcycle left around corners.
It's true. He does.
It is true. And he's on a Ducati.
Well, I always love when Marc Marquez said that Alex was actually better than him. I think about that all the time.
Same. I think Mark probably thinks about it all the time. It's like, Alex, you fucking idiot, you're making me look stupid here. Right, Cameron, poll, please.
Oh, I'll take Martin, please.
Martin, yeah, it's a pole helm, why not? And Lauren, please.
Oh, I've gone from quite a lot. I think I've picked Martin for the last 2 races. So I'm not going to pick him.
You have, yeah.
But who will I pick? I don't trust the Aprilias anymore.
No.
I don't trust Pecco.
Yeah.
No. Who got pole last time? It was Marquez.
I wouldn't put Bez on pole. That leaves me with limited options here, folks. I will go with Luca Marini.
Nice. I like that a lot.
Would not surprise me if like Taka gets it.
I wouldn't say Alex Rins because I like him so much, but not on an LCR Honda.
No.
At the minute, he did make a step up last weekend though. So hopefully this is a track that he likes that he will perform well at. So.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, sprint race winner, Cameron, please.
Sprint winner. Honestly,
you went for the wrong KTM last week, didn't you?
I did. I always do this. Just looking at the bloody entry list. I don't know. So the Aprilias, they didn't work at Kota last year.
No.
And it's not going to happen again this year. Let's. Don't like him, but let's go with Pecco.
Pecco and Naya. Okay. I like that.
I don't like him, but let's go with Pecco. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I'm going to keep up my trend of first-time winners with Alex Marquez on the sprint race.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And Lauren, please.
I'm going to say... do you know what? I will go with him this week. Jack Miller. I'm going to back him.
Oh, nice. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Third place, I've gone with Marini on the full race podium.
Yep.
Cameron, third place, please.
Brad, please.
Binder, nice. And Lauren, please.
Quartararo.
I can't believe I forgot about him. Jeez.
I don't want people to forget about him. He will be back at some point this season.
It's not going to be a Kota, though.
He's been on the podium before, so...
When the Yam worked.
Vibes. Manifestation works, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, manifestation works. So, positive vibes, everyone.
Like it. Yeah, we like that. Okay, I'm going to stick with you, Lauren, for second.
Second, I'm going to go for... I don't know.
Marini. Okay, nice. Okay, Cameron.
What about Bez? Nice.
Damn
Bez.
you! I've gone with Bez as well.
Oh.
Yeah, Bez. And for the winner, I've gone with Le Français Johan Zarco. He's gonna get his
Vive
first
la
win.
France! Allez les bleus!
Yeah, allez le bleu. Zarco. We're gonna see that backflip. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's only right that Dennis Onshu and Aaron Cannon also backflip if all three happen on one day.
They'll just break their spine in the process because they've never done one before.
Zarco's been secretly teaching them.
Yeah.
That'd be so bloody good. Can that please happen?
That'd be so funny. Cameron for the win, please.
The hell. Really? Pick a name. Yeah, let's have Alex Marquez.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alex Marquez. Okay, and Lauren in the winner, please.
I'm torn between two people, but after Pecco lost his mind a little bit last week, I'm going to go with Bezecchi because he looked better.
Yeah, good shout. Solid shout. Nice. And what do we think about Franco Morbidelli? Can he continue this form or not?
I think he'll be top 5, but I think he'll be podium.
Top 10.
Okay. Modest.
I don't know.
Although
They need to qualify. They need to qualify. Both of them need to qualify. It just goes to show that when the Yamaha is up there, that they can maintain their position. Obviously, Franco had a great weekend last week. What was it? 2 4th-place finishes. So Fabio gets up there, qualifies. They might actually be able to help each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's all about Saturday.
Cota's not a track for smooth riders, though, is it? Really?
That's why Pecco will not win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, I shouldn't pick best then either.
Oh.
But then, I don't know, I think the Ducati's better at sort of helping out riders. Like, it's better at helping, smooth out a dodgy track, so to speak. And you can still go fast there. Yeah. User-friendly. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, all my predictions are wrong anyway, so...
Yeah.
Same. Nice. Okay, right. I think that's all we've got time for.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. We will be back next week with the Kota review. Hopefully.
Wow.
We'll see 4 first-time new winners, and I'll absolutely annihilate everyone on the predictions.
That would be good. I'd be happy. I mean, yeah, that would be good if it's the case. I want you to do well next week.
No, I couldn't handle your ego. No, let's not.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
Oh, God.
It's fine.
Oh, well.
Okay, well, thank you for listening anyway, and we'll sign out now and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.